I'm Randy. Welcome to PRK.
Welcome to PRK. I'm Phil. This is
Randy.
Randy. I said you were Randy.
I am Randy.
I know, I just told him you're Randy.
Yeah, and you're Phil.
Okay, whatever.
We're married, if you
Yeah.
couldn't tell.
Happily, so happily. So, kind of give you a little rundown of what PRK is and what we do. PRK started a little differently than where we've gotten to. What we specialize in is GM platform vehicles, but we do work on everything. Ford, Dodge, you name it. Except for European, we try not to get into that because I like my saneness, sanity, that thing. What PRK has made its name for doing is fixing things that other people can't fix, making things work that other people can't make work. We do a lot of fixing and repairing things other shops build. We also do full frame offs. We do race cars, turbos, engine builds. Randy builds wiring harnesses.
And I take your money and buy your parts.
And she's on Facebook and YouTube a lot. She has two offices. One is up here. The other one is the restroom. We'll show you that later. What else?
We have one daughter who's actually videoing because she doesn't like to be on camera.
Baby girl.
She's the light of our life. Yeah, so let's go show you guys around the shop.
Where are you from?
I am from Santee, California. It's a little suburb of San Diego. Probably one of the coolest places to grow up. We had a super small town, and Phil and I, coincidentally, went to rival high schools.
So, what's your name and what's your role in the shop?
My name's Dane. I'm the welder fabricator. I build cool shit.
So, when did you get into welding?
I remember I used to hide out in the living room at my parents' house to stay up past 10 o'clock to watch Monster Garage because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I saved all my money. I'd go to work with my dad, and I went and bought myself my first welding machine when I was 13. And I just went out in the garage and just fucked around and figured it out and started welding stuff, making little trophies and lawn ornaments for my parents. Figured out I could make a lot of money doing it. I went and I did a certified pipe welder, did pipeline for a long time, and just realized I want to build cool shit. So I traveled through a bunch of different shops, and I finally found home here at PRK. And Phil's taught me a lot. Randy, she busts my balls all day long.
But we love him, and his kids, and his wife.
Yeah, and so turbo piping, charge piping, exhaust, headers, that's stuff that I really like to do. And pretty much anything else, modifying a whole vehicle just to fit around a radiator. When people say that it can't be done, we got it done.
So, what are you working on over here?
I gotta make some repairs to this radiator, so I'm just trying to make sure that my AC settings are proper so I can make a really nice weld. And hopefully it'll come out pretty good.
Oh.
That's not true at all. I'm just fucking around. I made a little tornado.
Okay, so this is a Wagoneer that we're actually almost finished with, if you want to take a closer look. I am in the process of building the harness for it right now. We did custom radiator hoses, mounted the radiator, mounted the fan onto it. Pretty much to take out motor from a recycler, but otherwise we are doing everything, complete rewire of the truck.
Oh, hey guys, just polishing up my forklift.
So, what's your background with working on cars?
Well, I started working on cars when I was 14 years old, when I bought my first car, 69 SS Camaro. First thing I ever did was a water pump. Then through high school, did high school auto shop, ROP programs, got really involved in cars. Been a dealer tech. I've worked in private shops, did semis for a while. I've worked in off-road custom shops, and we've had off and on side businesses for a long time.
What is your first major project?
First major project for PRK was actually a 96 Impala LS1 swap for a good customer of ours that we still do business with.
What's your most popular project?
Ooh, our most popular project, there's a couple. The Jeep is pretty popular. It is a supercharged 6.2, all built in-house. The other popular project is actually right up there on the left. It is a 1966 Cadillac DeVille convertible with a 408 in it. Super clean swap. Really, really pretty. It's going to have a system in it. He's going to drive it all over Arizona, probably out of state too. Both amazing customers. We are honestly super blessed.
Do I have a nose hair?
Yes.
Can you get it?
No.
Ow. Ow. See it?
No, I don't care about your nose hairs. This is the joys of being married to your business partner, because they walk up to you randomly and ask you to do stupid stuff like pull their nose hairs.
I don't know what to do with my hands. It feels awkward.
So Phil, this truck kind of stands out in the shop. What makes PRK the best shop to have done to do something like this one behind you?
Pre-runners and off-road, it's a totally different adventure. The big thing with off-road, the requirements for the engine, the transmission, and what this truck's going to do versus a Wagoneer or a Camaro on the street is pretty significant. This obviously is a full custom built, long travel. Started life as a Ford Ranger. There's not too much Ford Ranger left on it. Getting ready to do a 6.0 swap in this with a 4L80 transmission. This, though, unlike most cars where you're worried about overheating on the freeway or day-to-day traffic, this thing's going to be out in the desert where it's hot, it's dirty. You're going to be spending high RPM, big tires, trying to keep all this stuff cool. I've done both drag racing and off-road. Been around this stuff for a long time, built a lot of off-road projects. We've had our own off-road buggies, Class 5 Unlimited Baja bug. There's a certain amount of knowledge that goes into building something like this, and the drivetrain is the same thing. You can't just toss a stock LS in this and expect it to go out in the desert and live forever.
When did the shop open?
October of 2011. Kinsey was a kindergartner. We knew that we wanted to get going on something. It was Phil's lifelong dream.
I was tired of working for the dealership.
Yep.
It was not a good deal anymore.
I was working for the government in Pinal County, and it was just...
She was CIA.
Yeah, I was super CIA.
Undercover ops.
And then we just decided it was time to stop working for the man. Took a year and a half, and then I started working for my man, and it took a year and a half of Phil doing this on his own,
with some help from your old man.
With some help from my old man, help from my mom watching Kinsey on days that I needed to come up here to help, and
a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of time.
So how did you come up with the name PRK?
Well, I was still working at the dealer, and we were doing a lot of side work from the house. And as a lot of people know, the only way to get business accounts with a lot of corporations is you have to have an LLC or a business license. So Randy and I were trying to come up with a name, and everything I came up with she said was stupid, which means it was probably really good, and she was just jealous that I thought it up. So kind of a last minute stretch, I just went, okay, PRK. We'll just use the first letters of all of our names, Phil, Randy, Kinsey.
And then one day on Facebook, Phil gets this bright idea that the name PRK is kind of lame because people don't know that it's our initials. And he says, change it to Performance, Racing, and Customs with a K, which goes against everything I stand for. I hate misspelled words, so we did it.
Okay.
But in reality...
Problem was, when PRK started, I was doing general automotive repair. I've built cars, again, since I was 14 years old, mostly towards the race car stuff. I didn't really have a whole lot of interest in daily drivers. I kind of got pushed into that because it was, either fix cars for a living or be a stripper, and I hate shaving, so that was not going to happen.
No, the problem is now it needs to be PRKD.
And perked sounds dumb.
Perked.
Sounds like too much D.
That sounds like, oh man, I got perked last night.
So when we started out, we were doing general automotive repair. So it was PRK Automotive. It made sense. issue was we started getting people bringing hot rods in, knowing that that's what I was good at, and we started fixing a lot of hot rods. Well, if you look out there now, we might have one daily driver in here in a 4-month period that's anything major repair wise. So people kept saying, well, I didn't know you guys do that kind of work because you're PRK Automotive. So I said, okay, let's change it, which Randy doesn't like it because it's not spelt correctly, but it gives you a better idea what we do.
Is there any personal projects that you're most proud of?
Well, I'm proud of every project that we do, but the most proud was one of our friends, actually one of my old coworkers, had brought us her 99 Blazer. And originally we were just going to get it up and running for them. Things kind of didn't work out on their side, so they handed us over the Blazer. Phil and I got the bright idea, let's make something that I could daily driver, and it was going to be an LS swapped Chevy Blazer, all-wheel drive Blazer. So we were going from 4-wheel drive to all-wheel drive. It was a really big project. We had a ton of time on it, and once we were at that point where we were really getting it all figured out, it was drivable, we were starting to drive it back down to Santan Valley, and we had an employee that was driving it, and he got rear-ended by some kid in another S10 texting on the freeway. So don't text and drive, that's dumb. And ruined my Blazer.
What did you think that you would end up doing?
As a profession,
Yes.
you want me to go first?
Sure.
All right, well, I wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force and fly F-16s. And then I quickly realized that school wasn't really my thing, and it just wasn't going to happen.
You're dyslexic.
There's no reason to call me names. And then I've always been into building stuff and working on things, and like we said earlier, I got into my teenage years and got really into cars. They always say, it sounds corny, but they always say you always find something and you know when it's what you're meant to do, and now working on cars was natural for me. So.
Think.
I always wanted to build custom motorcycles. That's what I told myself forever growing up. I told my grandpa, he said, that's dumb, you should be an engineer. I realized school wasn't really for me. My teachers even told my parents that he doesn't want to be here. I dropped out, got an apprenticeship working at another shop. Just figured out cars were, my thing, and just wanted to build cool shit. So
I was going to be an elementary school teacher, go figure, or a supermodel. Obviously that didn't work out, thanks Kinsey. But I think in reality, I always took to school. That was my jam. I like learning stuff, and now sometimes I get to school these guys on stuff. Not very often, but I get to school customers, and that's really fun. And
you school me sometimes.
I do, and I'll just go along those lines. Obviously, I'm the only girl in the shop, so sometimes that's the hard part.
Girls have cooties.
It's not being that I have cooties.
She knows her shit.
It's that, unfortunately, I'm kind of smart, and customers don't always like that from men.
Unfortunately, we have to have one responsible adult. Otherwise, nothing would get done. Well,
You just drink a lot of beer all day.
yeah, which really isn't a bad thing. And we
Probably
would
come
get
out
some
a lot.
stuff done. Maybe,
Customers don't like that.
but Randy says we
That's
can't.
why they keep the mom around.